The tour of coastal Karnataka from 5th November 2021 to 13th November 2021. After a wait of nearly a year due to COVID, we went out for our next venture, that is coastal Karnataka. We started our journey from Delhi, went to Mumbai, from Mumbai to Mangalore. From Mangalore, we went to Cop Beach. Cop, or Kapu as it's known in Karnataka, is a beach village in coastal Karnataka. Kapu is 400 kilometers from Bangalore and 45 kilometers from Mangaluru, which is the nearest airport. Udupi is the nearest railway station, about 15 kilometers. Regular buses are available from Mangaluru and Udupi to reach Kapu. We stayed in this resort, which is Kapu Beach Resort or Kop Beach Resort. It's all reddish soil which leads to the white sand, and now we are moving towards the cottage. It's a lovely place, nice, beautiful, with greeneries, coconut trees, and a blue, silent Arabian Sea. This is the cottage where we stayed, a lovely, beautiful cottage, and the entire resort is lined with number of cottages, adjacent cottages, small blocks. Cool and calm place. You can see the sand shining in the afternoon. Kapu's long sandy beaches offer a panoramic view of the Arabian Sea with its tropical climate and bevy of attractions that beckon tourists from across the country. Kapu is predominantly known for its greenery that surrounds the beach. One of the main attractions of the Kapu beach is the century-old 130 feet lighthouse. We spent our first day in the Kapu beach, in the cottage, watching the silent Arabian Sea, blue, merging with the sky at the horizon. And the beach is lined with green coconut trees. Very less people. It's a long beach, about 10 kilometers from this place. This is more or less a private beach of the resort people, and it extends up to the lighthouse, which we'll show you later. This is the kitchen, you can see. Kitchen, dining hall. This is the room where we stayed. It's a lovely, cozy room, double-bedded room with hut-type ceiling, tastefully decorated. This is the view of the sea from our balcony on the resort at night time. Now we are getting ready for a marriage ceremony in traditional attire. Just outside our cottage. This is on the beach. Now we have reached the marriage venue. It's a traditional heritage building of typical Karnataka style with birds and other attractive things for the children to enjoy. A tastefully decorated pandal, heritage chariot or rath. The ceremony has already started, the morning ceremony. This is inside the heritage building, the house, the central courtyard. Children are enjoying their outing, holidays. They are not bothered about the marriage, they are bothered about their own, playing with their fellows, with their colleagues. Now the evening time has come, the actual marriage ceremony. The baratis, the guests, the rituals, the gifts, the food, the garlands, decoration, everything. There was a huge gathering with a traditional style of marriage that we enjoyed. আরেকটা দিন, নতুন দিন, নতুন সময়। সকালবেলার আমাদের চা খাওয়া শুরু হলো আমাদের ব্যালকনিতে। সামনে আরব সাগর, সমুদ্রের আওয়াজ, হালকা রোদ। আমরা চা খাওয়া শুরু করলাম। সুন্দর পরিবেশ, যেরকম শান্তি চাই আমরা ঠিক সেই রকম শান্তি আমরা পেয়েছি এই সমুদ্রের ধারে এসে। এখন পালা আর একটা জায়গায় যাবার। We are starting for the new day. We have started already. We are going to Udupi, the district under which the Kop beach is there. We are entering Udupi. It's a small city, but it's a very good, neat and clean. This is the Krishna Mutt. Udupi Sri Krishna Temple is the well-known historic Hindu temple dedicated to Lord Krishna and Dvaita Matta, located in the city of Udupi in Karnataka. The Mutt area resembles a living ashram, a holy place for daily devotion and living. You can see the chariot. The Mutt area resembles a living ashram. Surrounding the Sri Krishna temple are several temples, namely the Udupi Ananteshwara temple, which is over 1,000 years old. The Krishna Mutt was founded by the Vaishnavite Saint Jagadguru Sri Madhavacharya in 13th century. He was the founder of Dvaita school of Vedanta. It is believed that Madhavacharya found the Vigraha of Sri Krishna in a large ball of Gopi Chandana. Now we are again going back to Kop Beach Resort. This is the place where yesterday we attended the marriage. This is the heritage property or the house or the building where we attended the marriage. Now we have come to Kop Beach for the lighthouse. This is the Kapu beach, as the local people say. Here we found quite a good number of tourists, children enjoying their outing. Kapu Lighthouse was built in 1901. Kapu Lighthouse is 27 meters tall, constructed on a rock. The lighthouse has stood the test of time and has guided ships to safety during the days when the ships did not have satellite navigation and relied on lighthouses on the shores for warning. This beach near Kapu Lighthouse is worth visiting, as Kapu Beach gets fewer crowds compared to the other nearby beaches such as Malpe Beach or Surathkal Beach. Basically, Kapu is a town situated in the Udupi district of Karnataka. It lies between the twin cities of Udupi and Mangalore, next to National Highway 66. The village is Manchakal, and Shirva are located near Kapu. It is 13 kilometers south of Udupi and 40 kilometers north of Bangalore. It is known for this particular lighthouse, the three Mariamman shrines, and the Kapu fort built by Tipu Sultan. Kapu was declared a taluk of the Udupi district by the government of Karnataka. Kapu was renamed Kop by British. Now we are moving towards the lighthouse, base of the lighthouse. The lighthouse has been closed because of COVID pandemic, and still it is closed, but we can go up to the base of the lighthouse. We are moving towards that. The beach is also lovely, where children, their parents are enjoying the outing. The weather is lovely with bright sunshine, slightly windy but enjoyable. This lighthouse was built in 1901, as I have already told you. It is 27 meters tall, constructed on a rock on which we are standing. It's closed because of pandemic, but it's worth seeing. After a visit of lighthouse at Cork Beach, we have come back to our own shelter. That's the beach resort. দিগন্ত মিশে যেথায় নীল সমুদ্রের বুকে, সেথায় হারাতে চাই অপূর্ণতা চোখে। সূর্যোদয়টা নতুন ভোরের অপার্থিব সূর্যাস্ত, জীবন সুন্দর হেতায় প্রশান্তি এক প্রস্ত। It's a lovely place. We are enjoying our outing, holidays. The Arabian Sea, dancing like a peacock. The flow of water, the greenery, the coconut trees, and the people. You can see the lighthouse far at the back. Waves after waves coming to the beach, washing the shore. এই মুহূর্তের জন্যই আমরা এখানে এসেছিলাম, এই আনন্দটুকু। সাগরের পাড়ে, সমুদ্রের পাড়ে আমরা কিছুটা সময় কাটাবার জন্যে, দৈনন্দিন কর্মব্যস্ত জীবন থেকে একটুখানি আলাদা হতে, নিজেদের খুঁজে পেতে। এখন সূর্য আস্তে আস্তে পশ্চিমের দিকে ঢলে পড়ছে। আমরা নিজেদের রুমের থেকে, কটেজের থেকে সেই দৃশ্য দেখছি, অপূর্ব মনোরম দৃশ্য। We are having our evening tea. The sun is slowly setting in the west, and we are watching, enjoying, having the total fun on the sea beach. সাগর আমায় উদাস করে স্মৃতির পাতায় ডুব, নীল জলের গর্জনেতে মাথায় পড়ি খুব। সাগর আমায় উদাস করে স্মৃতির পাতায় ডুব, নীল জলের গর্জনেতে মায়ায় পড়ি খুব। জীবন বুঝি সৈকতে গড়া বালুর সংসার, ঢেউয়ের আঘাতে তার অমোঘ সংহার। পূর্ণিমাতে জ্যোৎস্না বিলাস কিংবা আধার অমাবস্যা, হুট করে ক্ষণে ক্ষণে জীবন বদলায় সহসা। গাংচিল সাম্পানে মুখরিত তট, স্বপ্নীল মোহরা সব জড়ায় হুটহাট। দিগন্ত মেশে যেথায় নীল সমুদ্রের বুকে, সেথায় হারাতে চাই অপূর্ণতা চোখে। সূর্যোদয়টা নতুন ভোরের অপার্থিব সূর্যাস্ত, জীবন সুন্দর হেথায় প্রশান্তি এক প্রস্ত। স্বপ্নেরা মেলে ডানা নীল সমুদ্রে, চোখ মেললেই দেখি গাংচি লড়ে, প্রবাল পাথর ভেদে কোমল প্রভা, গধূলি হতেই ছড়ায় লালাভ আভা। নোনা জলে জল কেলি মধুর স্মৃতি, ঝাউয়ার কেয়া বনে হরিত প্রকৃতি, সারি সারি নারিকেল গাছ ছায়া দেয় তটে, সৈকতে শামুক ঝিনুক পাওয়া যায় বটে। পানির নিচে সেথায় অন্য জগৎ, মাছেরা ছুঁয়ে যায় জল পারাবত, নিঝুম রাতে তার অন্য এক রূপ, নক্ষত্রের কোলাহল আছে বাকি সব নিশ্চুপ। ঢেউয়ের তালে তালে সাম্পান দুলে, ভাটার টানে কত প্রাণ যায় ভুলে, সমুদ্রের অসীমতা শান্ত করে মন, যান্ত্রিকতাহীন অভিলাষী আকাঙ্ক্ষিত জীবন। তোমার সাথে ডুবতে রাজি প্রেমের দরিয়ায়, কেয়া পাতার নৌকে ভাসি ভীষণ অবেলায়, নীল সাগরে ভাসিয়ে দেব সকল শূন্যতা, তোমার মাঝেই আমার আছে সকল পূর্ণতা। Now we are passing through Western Ghats, our next destination. It's a hilly terrain with the green all around because of recent rain. From here we are moving towards Chikmagaluru. But before that we'll be going to another place, that is Sringeri. Sringeri is also called Sri Kshetra Sringeri. It's a hill town and taluk headquarters located in Chikmagaluru district of Karnataka. It is site of the first Math Dakshinamnya Sringeri Sharada Peetham, established by Adi Shankara, Hindu theologian and exponent of Advaita Vedanta philosophy in the 8th century CE. Located in the banks of the river Tunga, the town draws a large number of pilgrims to its temples of Sri Sharadamba, Sri Vidya Shankara, Sri Malahanikeshwara and other deities. The name Sringeri is derived from Rishya Giri, a nearby hill that is believed to have contained the hermitage of Rishi Vibhandaka and his son Rishvashringa. In an episode in the Balakanda of Ramayana, Vashishta narrates how Rishvashringa brought rains to the drought-stricken kingdom of Ramapada. According to legend, Sri Adi Shankara is said to have selected the site as a place to stay and teach his disciples, because when he was walking by the river Tunga, he saw a cobra with a raised hood providing shelter from the hot sun to a frog undergoing labor. Impressed with a place where natural enemies had gone beyond their instincts, he stayed here for 12 years. Sri Adi Shankaracharya also established maths that is at Jyotirmar near Badrinath, eastern at Puri, and western at Dwarka quarters of India. Now we are moving towards Chikmagalur. You can see the tea gardens, coffee gardens. Chikmagalur, officially Chikmagaluru and previously as Chikmagalore, after checking in a hotel in Chikmagaluru, we straightway went for our next destination, Belur. Belur is a small town in Hassan district in the state of Karnataka. The town is renowned for its Chennaka Shiva temple dedicated to Lord Vishnu, one of the finest examples of Hoysala architecture and the largest Hindu temple complex that has survived from the pre-14th century Karnataka Dravida tradition. A historic site inspired by the teachings of Ramanujacharya, it has been a Vaishnava Hindu pilgrimage center since at least the 12th century. It was also the first capital of the Hoysala dynasty before the built Dorai Samudra, the modern Halabid. Belur is also town municipal council and taluka. The Hoysala monuments at Belur and Halebidu have been proposed as UNESCO World Heritage Sites. Belur is near the foothills east of the Western Ghats at an altitude of 3,200 feet. It and the nearby Halebidu are well connected to northern Karnataka, western Andhra Pradesh, and northern Tamil Nadu. Around this region, between the 10th and 14th century, the Hoysala dynasty came to power, whose history is unclear. By their own 11th and 12th century inscriptions, they were descendants of the Krishna Valadeva roots and the Yadavas of Maharashtra. They married into the Kalyana Chalukya Hindu dynasty, known for its temple and art tradition. The reliability of these inscriptions have been questioned at potential mythostry by some historians, who proposed that the Hoysalas were a local Hindu family, a hill chief from the Western Ghats remembered for having killed a tiger or a lion, and they seized power and over time expanded their territories starting in the 10th century. Belur was the early capital of the Hoysala Empire in the 11th century before the built Dora Samudra. According to inscriptions discovered here, It was called Velur or Velapuri during the Hoysala era. Belur remained a Latinate capital through the 14th century. The city was esteemed by the Hoysalas and they referred to it as earthly Vaikuntham and Dakshina Varanasi in later inscriptions. In early 12th century, the Hoysala king Vishnuvardhana met the Hindu philosopher Ramanujacharya, famed for his ideas on Sri Vaishnavism. Belur's profile rose thereafter, becoming a Vaishnava temples and monasteries town. It has remained a Vaishnava Hindu pilgrimage center. Chennakeshava Temple, Belur, is a large Vishnu-related Hoysala Hindu temples complex from the 12th century. The main temple was originally called the Vijayanarayana Temple, built by the king, which is surrounded by many smaller temples built by the Hoysala queen, generals, and merchants of Hoysalas. An attached monastery, Brahmins' residences, a simple pushkarini or the temple water tank, a pilgrim's choultry, kitchen, and grain storage. The towering Belur Gopala is visible from a distance. These are the photographs from inside the Belur temple, the ancient temple of Belur. The deity in this temple is still worshipped. Another new day, another new destination. Today we started for Mulyanagiri Hills. Now we are passing through Chikmagaluru district. Chikmagaluru, officially Chikmagaluru or previously as Chikmagaluru, is an administrative district in the state of Karnataka. Coffee was first cultivated in India in Chikmagaluru. The hills of Chikmagaluru are part of Western Ghats and the source of Tunga and Bhadra rivers. Mulyanagiri is the highest peak in Karnataka. It is located in the district of Chikmagaluru. Sringeri Mutt in the district is famous for being the Dakshina Pitha. Adi Shankaracharya established in this region the Sringeri Mata. Coffee was introduced into India through the Chikmagaluru district when the first coffee crop was grown in the Baba Budangiri range during 1670 AD. The saint Baba Budan, on his pilgrimage to Mecca, travelled through the seaport of Mocha in Yemen, where he discovered coffee. To introduce its taste to India, he wrapped 7 coffee beans around his belly and got them out of Arabia. On his return home, he planted the beans in the hills of Chikmagaluru. You can see the coffee plantation on either side of the road. And since then, Chikmagaluru is also famous for coffee beans. Now we are slowly moving up through the hills to reach to our destination, Mulyanagiri. Now we have arrived at the entrance of Mulyanagiri Hill. Mulyanagiri is the highest peak of Karnataka. It is located in the Chandradrona hill ranges of the Western Ghats of Chikmagaluru Taluk. With a height of 1925 meters or 6,316 feet, it is the highest peak in Karnataka and also the highest peak in Krishna River Basin. The summit of Mulyanagiri has a small temple and houses a police radio relay station. Sitalayangiri is a prominent peak which is adjacent to this place. We are slowly moving upwards to reach the highest peak. The peak gets its name from a small temple at the summit, which is dedicated to the sage Mulappa Swami, who is believed to have meditated at the caves only a couple of feet below the summit. The caves are accessible and not very deep. They have a direct entrance to the Garbhagudi of the temple, which is now blocked by the temple priests. Apart from multiple versions of folklore and strong Siddha culture around the belt, the origins or any information about the deity remains ambiguous. Mullai refers to forest in Old Tamil Kannada language. we are making our approach to the peak. Now we have reached at the peak. You are supposed to remove your shoes while entering the mud, which is at the peak. The view of other ranges from this place. This is the route that we traveled from the base to come to this Mulyanagiri peak. Now we are at the peak. This is the mud. This is the backside of the mud, which is right at the top of the Mulyanagiri peak. You can walk around on the mud on the peak. There are few staff quarters for the priest for the Sebaits at the peak. That is the route that we have followed to come to this tip of the mountain. This is a Shiva temple on either side of the stairs. Jaya, our driver, now it is time to go down. We have to go through the same place, same stairs. You can see the end point at the plains behind the mountain. There were a lot of tourists during this time. Weather was fine, cloudy, misty, but enjoyable. You need rest in between, and we are taking rest. Now we are moving towards Dharmasthala, another destination. In between on the highway, we are having sweet corn, roasted sweet corn, then pineapple, Joy's favorite. Just for a change. Our next destination is Dharmasthala. Dharmasthala is an Indian temple town on the banks of the river Netravati in Belthangadi Taluk of Dakshina Kannada district in Karnataka. It is a panchayat village and it is the only village in its Gram Panchayat. The town is known for its Dharmasthala temple, which houses the shrine of Shiva. Along with Shiva, it has got Manjunatha, Ammanavaru, Chandranath, and Dharma Daivas, the guardian spirit of Dharma, Kalarahu, Kalarkai, Kumaraswamy, and Kanyakumari. The temple is unusual in that it is run by a Jain administration and pujas are conducted by Hindu priests of the Madhava order. Now we are passing through the bus stand. Behind the bus stand you can see the hostels or the guest houses for the temple. This is Manjusha Museum. It's very near to the place where we stayed at Netravati Hostel. Sri Manjunatheshwara Cultural and Research Foundation, started by the temple committee, is engaged in preserving ancient manuscripts and paintings. A museum of antique objects has been established called Manjusha Museum, and a car museum houses a rare collection of vintage cars. Traditional folk art like Yakshagana and ethnic crafts like Navalgund, carpets, and Kasturi embroidery are revived by Dr. Hegare. Sri Dharmasthala Manjunatheshwara Dharmasthana Trust is engaged in renovation of temples across Karnataka, and every year a Sarva Dharma Sammelana multi-religious meet is held at Dharmasthala, where spiritual leaders from various faiths and schools participate. A polished flower, and after visiting the museum inside where photography is not allowed, we came out and on the street we are taking photographs. This is the chariot, you can see it behind. and far at the distance we can see the Manjunatha temple. Now we are entering Manjunatha temple. The photography or videography is not allowed inside the temple, so we have taken the photographs from outside only. As I have already told you, the temple is unusual in that it is run by a Jain administration and pujas are conducted by Hindu priest of Madhava order. Lakshadipa, the Festival of Lights, is the annual festival of Dharmasthala in November-December. Dharmasthala represents religious tolerance. A Jain Tirthankara is worshipped beside Dayas and Lord Manjunatha or Shiva. The priests are Vaishnavite Brahmin and the guardian of the temple is Hegadi or Jain. To those who come here for justice, the Hegadi dispenses judgment that is said to represent the will of the deities. Local legend says that Shivalinga in Dharmasthala was brought to Dharmasthala by a local person with great powers named Annappa. Legend is that he used to work for the Hegadi family. Once, when the Hegadi was serving, wanted to worship Lord Shiva, Annappa had assured him to get one linga and vanished from the sight. The next morning, he had already established the linga in Dharmasthala, a few meters away from the Hegadi's house. Later, it was learned that the linga was from Kadri near Mangalore, from the Kadri temple. By then, Annappa had vanished and he was never again sighted in the vicinity. Now people in Dharmasthala worship Annappa as Annappa Panjuli, a local god deva and a hero. On the next day morning, we are moving out of Dharmasthala. "800 years ago, Dharmasthala was known as Kuduma in Mallamadi, then a village in Bethalgadi. Here lived a Jain chieftain Bhimanna Pagadi and his wife Ammu Balati in a house called Nelaidi Bidu. Now we are moving towards another destination, that is Bahubali, Bahubali Jain Temple, or the Gomoteshwar statue at Dharmasthala. In 1973, a statue of Lord Bahubali, carved out of a single rock, was installed at Dharmasthala on a low hill near the Manjunatha temple. It is about 39 feet or 12 meter high, has a 13 feet high pedestal, and weighs about 175 tons. This is one of the 5 stone statues of Bahubali in Karnataka. This temple is within the municipal area of Dharmasthala and maintained by Jains. From Dharmasthala, we came to our next destination, Mudabidri, also called Mudbidri, Mudbidri and Bedra. It's a town and taluk in Dakshina Karnataka district. It lies 34 km northwest of district headquarters, Mangalore, in Karnataka. Because of widely grown bamboo in ancient days, the space was named as Mudabidri. Mudabidri comes from two Tulu words. Mudu means east and Bidiru means bamboo. Savira Kambata temple or Trivuvana Tilaka Kudamani is a Basati or Jain temple noted for its 1,000 pillars in Mudabidri, Karnataka. The temple is also known as Chandranatha temple since it honors the Tirthankara Chandra Prabha, whose 8-foot idol is worshipped in this shrine. Kollur. We are standing in front of Kollur Mukambika temple, which is located in Kollur in Bayandur taluk of Udupi district in the region of Tulunadu and in the state of Karnataka. It is a Hindu temple dedicated to the mother goddess known as Mukambika Devi. It is situated in the foothills of Kodachadri hills on the southern bank of Shauparnika river. Being situated at the land between Gokarna and Kanyakumari, believed to be created by sage Parashurama, the main deity of the temple is Swayambhu, that is, self-born Jyotirlinga with a golden line cutting it into half, in which the left half represents 3 Devis and the right half represents 3 Murtis. Along with this, a 4-handed Panchaloha idol of goddess Mukambika is also installed. Rathotsava is in the month of Falguna and Navaratri in the month of Ashwina are the main festivals in this temple. Next on our itinerary is Murudeshwara. Before we reach there, I would like to share with you the details of Murudeshwara. Murudeshwara is a town in Bhatkal Taluk of Uttar Kannada district in the state of Karnataka. The town is located 13 km from Taluk headquarters of Bhatkal. Murudeshwara is famous for the world's second tallest Shiva statue. The town lies on the coast of Arabian Sea and is also famous for Murudeshwara temple. The origin of the name Murudeshwar dates to the time of Ramayana. The Hindu god attained immortality and invincibility by worshipping a divine linga called Atma Linga. The Lanka king Ravana wanted to attain immortality by obtaining the Atma Linga, soul of Shiva. Since the Atma Linga belonged to Shiva, Ravana worshipped Shiva with devotion. Pleased by his prayers, Shiva appeared before him and asked him what he wanted. Ravana asked for Atma Linga. Shiva agreed to give him the boon on the condition that it should never be placed on the ground before he reaches Lanka. If Atma Linga was ever placed on the ground, it would be impossible to move it. Having obtained his boon, Ravana started back on his journey to Lanka. Lord Vishnu, who came to know of this incident, realized that with Atma Linga, Ravana may obtain immortality and wreak havoc on earth. He approached Ganesha and requested him to prevent the Atma Linga from reaching Lanka. Ganesha knew that Ravana was a very devoted person who performed prayer rituals every evening without fail. He decided to make use of this fact and came up with a plan to confiscate the Atma Linga from Ravana. As Ravana was nearing Gokarna, Vishnu blotted out the sun to give the appearance of dusk. Ravana now had to perform this evening rituals, but was worried about the Atma Linga in his hand. He would not be able to do his rituals. At this time, Ganesha, in the disguise of a Brahmin boy, accosted him. Ravana requested him to hold the Atma Linga until he performed his rituals and asked him not to place it on ground. Ganesha struck a deal with him, saying that he would call Ravana thrice, and if Ravana did not return within that time, he would place the Atma Linga on the ground. Ravana returned to find that Ganesha has already placed the Atma Linga on the ground. Vishnu then removed his illusion and it was daylight again. Ravana, realizing that he had been tricked, tried to uproot and destroy the linga. Due to the force exerted by Ravana, some pieces were scattered. One such piece from the head of linga is said to have fallen in present-day Suratkal. The famous Sadashiva temple is said to be built around the piece of linga. Then he decided to destroy the covering of Atma Linga and threw the case covering it to a place called Shajeshwar, 37 kilometers away. Then he threw the lid of the case to a place called Guneshwar, now Gunavante, and Dhareshwar, 16 to 19 kilometers away. Finally, he threw the cloth covering the Atma Linga to a place called Mrideshwar in Kanduka Giri, that is Kanduka Hill. Mrideshwar has been renamed as Murudeshwar. Murudeshwar temple and Raja Gopura is built on the Kaduka hill, which is surrounded on three sides by waters of the Arabian Sea. It is dedicated to Sri Lokankara, and 20-storied Gopura is constructed at the temple. The temple authorities have installed a lift that provides a view of the 123 feet Sri Shiva idol from the top of Raja Gopura. There is a Rameshwara Linga at the bottom of the hill where devotees can do seva themselves. A Shaneshwar temple has been built next to the idol of Sri Akshay Guna. Two life-size elephants in concrete stand guard at the steps leading to it. The entire temple and the temple complex, including the 209 feet tall Raja Gopura, is one among the tallest. There are statues of sun chariot on side of the park, pool, statues depicting Arjuna receiving Gitapadesham from Lord Krishna, Ravana being deceived by Ganesha in disguise, Shiva's manifestation as Bhagi Marth, descending Ganga, curved around the hill. The temple is entirely modernized with the exception of the Sanctum Sanctorum, which is still dark and retains its composure. The main deity is Mridesha Linga, also called Murdeshwar. The linga is believed to be a piece of the original Atma Linga and is about 2 feet below ground level. The devotees performing special sevas like Avisheka, Rudavisheka, Rathot Sava, etc. can view the deity by standing before the threshold of the sanctum, and linga is illuminated by oil lamps held close to the priests. The linga is essentially a rough rock inside a hollowed spot on the ground. Entry into the sanctum is banned for all devotees. This huge towering statue of Shiva, visible from a great distance, is present in the temple complex. It is second tallest statue of Shiva in the world. The tallest Shiva statue is in Nepal, known as the Kailashanath Mahadev statue. The statue is 123 feet, 37 meters in height, and took about 2 years to build. The statue was built by Shiva Moga's Kashinath and several other sculptors, financed by businessman and philanthropist Rama Nagappa Shetty at a cost of approximately 50 million rupees. The idol is designed such that it gets the sunlight directly and thus appears sparkling. Gokarna is a small temple town on the western coast of India in Kumta Taluk of Uttara Kannada. The main temple and deity is Shiva, who is also known as Mahabaleshwara. The temple houses what is believed to be the original image of Shiva's linga, that is Atmalinga. Gokarna is known as one of the 7 important Hindu pilgrimage centers. It is on what was once an unspoiled beach near the estuary of the river Aghanashini. As per the legend, Ravana was given Atmalinga by Shiva and instructed that it would stay permanently where it is first placed on the land. But Ganesha came in the form of a boy and planted it in Gokarna while Ravana was performing rituals. Once placed, Ravana could not remove it from the ground, but he removed some pieces of linga and threw them in different directions. Gokarna is mentioned in Srimad Bhagavata Purana as being the home of the brothers Gokarna and Dhundakari. Now we come to the last city of our destination itinerary, Karwar. Karwar is a city, taluk and administrative center of Uttara Kannada district in the Indian state of Karnataka, which lies on the west coast of southern India at the mouth of the river Kali. Karwar is a popular tourist destination and with a city-urban area of 27.9 kilometers. It is the largest city in Uttara Kannada. The city and its surrounding regions are known for their beaches and green tourism destinations. Karwar derived its name from the nearby village of Kadewada. Kade means last and Wada means precincts or area in Konkani. Before Indian independence, the name Karwar was spelled Karwa. The name Bat Khol is an Arabic term by Tekol, meaning the way of safety, which is in the Indian history for maritime trade, wherein paper, cardamom, and muslin were exported from this Kadiwad port. And after the war with the Veer Henja Nayak, the port activities were shifted to Batkol. Thereafter, the port of Karwar was isolated and Kurmagad fort was activated by the Portuguese. Karwar town was built by the British in the year 1857 after the mutiny. Karwar is also known as Kashmir of Karnataka. Portuguese traders knew Karwar as Sintakura, Chittakula or Sindhpur. In 1510, the Portuguese captured and burned the fort of Karwar. They called it Fort Peer, Fort de Piro or Pito, due to the presence of Muslim Dargah, tomb of a Sufi saint, Shah Karamuddin. Now we have come to the museum, which is right on the beach. The warship INS Chopal is decommissioned and placed in this museum for public view. INS Chapal K-94 was a Chamak class missile boat of the Indian Navy. It is now a museum ship on Rabindranath Tagore Beach in Karwar. This warship is now positioned in a special concrete platform at the beach. Mannequins dressed up as captain, sailors, doctors, etc. are there inside the museum. Replicas of the missiles are also displayed inside the Warship Museum. In the 1700s, Karwar was a part of the Maratha Empire, having marched from Bednore in the south, visiting on his way the sacred temple at Gokarna. Shivaji seized Ankula and the next day came to Karwar, then known as Kadwar. Both the East India Company and Sher Shah, the Sardar of Bijapur, were very much alarmed at this sudden development. They collected huge amount and offering it to Shivaji, praying that they may be spared. Satisfied at the recognition of his authority, Shivaji crossed the Kali River and conquered Sadashivagarh on 21st February 1665. In 1784, at the time of the Treaty of Mangalore between Tipu Sultan and the East India Company, Karwar and Sadashivgarh were spelled Karwar and Sadashivgarh respectively. After the defeat of Marathas in the Third Anglo-Maratha War, Karwar was captured by the British. Fort Shiveshwar and other fortresses were built near Karwar in Shiveshwar village by the Sultan of Bijapur to counterattack from the north. At the ruins of Fort Shiveshwar are a Muslim graveyard and a tunnel at the eastern gate. The Bengali poet and Nobel laureate Rabindranath Tagore who visited Karwar in 1882, dedicated a chapter of his memoirs to this town. At 22 years, Tagore stayed with his second brother, Shotendranath Tagore, who was a district judge in Karwar. And after the name of great Nobel laureate, this beach has been named as Rabindranath Tagore Beach. From 1862 until the reorganization of the Indian states after independence, Uttara Kannada district was part of the Bombay Presidency. During this time, major public works carried out included improvement of the roads, building of a wharf road, and a sea wall at the Kava port, as well as the construction of a multi-floor storage building, staff housing, a post office, kacheri, and a Christian burial ground. At the same time, the local Konkani-speaking people had close connections with Mumbai and Goa. Many Marathi middle schools were established in the Karwar and Joida taluks. Many Konkani people in Goa still have close connections to Maharashtra and Goa. During World War II, Karwar was an Indian naval training site. This is the hotel where we stayed at Karwar. It's a nice, beautiful hotel, right near to the beach. Next day is our final day when we have to leave Karwar. We are at the railway station of Karwar, waiting for Rajdhani Express to travel to Delhi, ultimate home. waiting for our next journey to some other parts of India. We had a nice time. You must also enjoy watching this video. Thank you for watching this video with us. Thank you.